This morning on Sirius Radio, Gus Lloyd, the host of Seize the Day morning show on the Catholic Channel, and I were discussing the notion of peace. We were discussing Monday's blog on Jesus's commandment to not let your hearts be troubled, and that peace he gives to us, peace he leaves to us. Gus, on his 60-second reflection, was talking about this equation that he came up with, that the more faith we have, the less our hearts are troubled. And I challenged him on that because I said, Gus, I certainly understand that, and in some parts of my life that's very true, but how do you get there? How do you get to that moment of peace? How do you let go? And I've been thinking about this the entire week because of all the great comments that keep on coming in about that post. Margaret wrote, Beyond Blue Reader Margaret, wrote that she's tried numerous exercises with her therapist about letting go of these thoughts, that she would tie the thoughts to helium balloons and let them go, that she would crinkle them in the trash and throw them into a fire. But that she still wasn't able to let them go. She said her problem isn't taking her worries to God, taking her troubles to God, it's releasing them. And it made me think of what Gus was talking about on this morning's radio when he said, if you have a fist and it's tight and it's full, then you are not able to let anything come and fill it. And he said, have you ever had an experience in your life where you let your fist open, where you gave it to God, where you were able to give it to God? And I said, absolutely. I remembered the time that I relapsed, the one time that I relapsed in my recovery from alcoholism. I was a junior at St. Mary's College, and for 3 years, the question of whether I'm an alcoholic or not just kept on haunting me. I just couldn't do anything to get away from that obsession. I couldn't get past the first step, that I was powerless over alcohol. And it just would hammer again and again in my mind so that I couldn't get past it. So I went to this meeting, and some guy at the meeting said, without the first step, you have no foundation. The program can't work. So, of course, in my all or nothing thinking, my black and white thinking of the time, I said, well, I guess I should get drunk then. So I drove up to Michigan, and I got a 6-pack and drove back to St. Mary's College and sat in the parking lot of the college and just downed the 6 cans, waiting for some sign or some extreme symptom that I was indeed an alcoholic. Of course, that doesn't happen. But that those 2 weeks after I relapsed, the hell that was in my mind, and I just felt so ashamed that I had let 3 years of sobriety go, and I was so close to my 3-year chip, and God, I was just disgusted in myself. And 2 weeks after that, I don't know why or how I was able to do this, but I went to the gazebo where I often prayed after I went for a run around the campuses of St. Mary's and Notre Dame. And I just said, God, I can't carry this anymore. I can't, I'm done with it. I can't process it anymore. It's too painful. It's too powerful. You take it, please, you take it. And I lifted my arms up. I literally lifted my arms up like that. And I just gestured this movement of take it. And I have never felt so much peace in my life. And that peace about sobriety has stayed. Now, there's other components and other addictions in my life right now where I'm fighting the same war, and I can't get there. I can't get to that moment of peace. I don't know what it was. Maybe I had reached a level of pain. They say in AA that when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you turn it over. I think that's true to some extent. And in other times, I think just the practice of trying to do it over and over and over again. Gus was saying it's like that hole in one when you're golfing. You know, you practice so diligently all your strokes and pay attention to all the different parts of your game. And then there's that one chance when everything comes together perfectly, and it's part luck and part practice, and you make the hole in one. So I guess I just wanted to say to my readers that I'm where you are. I know that a lot of you are trying to get to that hole in one too. You're trying to get to that place where you can let it go and let it stay. And I think that if we just keep on practicing, eventually we'll get that hole in one.